Marvel's Eternals has a lot of buzz behind it from what we understand from internal viewings from Marvel Studios and early test audiences. Marvel believes this film could be one of their best, and they're hinging a lot on the success of Shang-Chi over the next few weeks to see if the film will meet its theatrical release date of mid-November. Now let's talk about why people are saying and why it is in fact true that the next 2 weeks of Shang-Chi really matter for the Eternals. So of course, Marvel Shang-Chi was a huge gamble for Marvel and Disney. They looked at this film as something that had to come out in theaters only to see how viable the entire future of the MCU slate, but also everything Disney has, and pretty much every other studio as well was looking at it going, well, what happens here defines what we do and the decision we make. Of course, Shang-Chi had a great opening weekend, but that's not the complete story. The second and third weekend are of course just as important, if not more important, because if the film suddenly has an 80% drop on the second weekend, well, guess what? It's no longer feasible to put out another film that's going to do the same thing because audiences are not returning or people are just not feeling safe enough to go beyond the first weekend. If they don't get out, they don't want to go see it regardless. So Disney is apparently very much looking at the next 2 weekends will be put under a microscope to examine everything possible, every scenario, and everything that happens, and see if a delay is viable, and also what would it mean if they released the film and what potential box office outcomes could happen from it. For all we know, Eternals comes out in November and does less than Shang-Chi, and then quickly being followed up by Spider-Man and going into that interesting December month where you never know what happens, and then into January. That's a huge gamble, so we don't know if Disney's willing to take it. That's why the next 2 weekends really do matter, and I think most of Hollywood will be looking at the same thing before they react too quickly. Point in case, Paramount. They react without anybody doing anything. They reacted to the rumors of low Shang-Chi box office before they were like, you know what, delay everything we got. That's not the way to do it. They should have waited. Now they look foolish after Shang-Chi. So I understand why Disney is going to sit back, let a couple weeks go by and go, let's make the call now. Because you realistically have to. Because Shang-Chi blew away expectations. There's a chance Eternals could do the same as well.